Alright, I'm going to try to be as brief as possible with this video since I've already live streamed my initial thoughts on this drama over on Twitch, and the VOD will be there if you head on over to my channel. It's a raw, unfiltered, pure emotional rant, and I don't think I can replicate that with this video. Also, I think it's best that you should hear this resolution out of Projared's mouth instead of myself. I will definitely have a biased regurgitation of both events prior and his response, so just watch his video if you really want to know what happened. I know it's long, but I think it's well done and well worth it. Okay, so let's get on with it.
Hey, it's me. And I was lied to. And so are you.
If you're not aware, Projared just came out with a video where he told his side of the story about the whole drama that went down just a few months ago. And if you're not familiar with his exploits, well, let me summarize. Projared had allegedly cheated on his wife Heidi, who over on Twitter was essentially bashing him and tearing down his reputation as she spilled all the tea with threads upon threads on how he was a conniving, manipulative, cheating bastard. Things soon escalated when it was revealed that he was not only cheating on Heidi with Holly Conrad, a mutual friend of the two, but that Projared used to have sex positivity blogs on Tumblr where he asked for fan nudes, and in return he gave them his own nudes. But things got real out of hand as soon as there were two claims made by Chai and Charlie. Former fans of Jared said that he had asked nudes of theirs even though that he knew that they were underage kids. Now, those were the worst claims out of the bunch. There was also this other claim that alleged that he was some sort of sleazebag to women one time, but that was already proven false at this point, so there's no real point in bothering with that. And now Projared is back, and he's told his side of the story and seemingly wants to make amends, but people are just not having it. Unfortunately, that's part of the way our culture has been groomed nowadays. Listen, I don't want to go, oh, we live in a society shtick, but you know what? We kind of do live in a society. Nowadays, people online aren't viewed as people anymore. They're viewed as objects, and I think it's shitty that Jared is being treated the way he's being treated, but I won't act innocent here and say that I never treated him poorly either, nor will I say that he doesn't deserve all of it, but I'll get to that much later. I just think that Jared, as much as anyone else, deserves his own spotlight. He deserves to tell his side of the story, and he should be able to tell you straight up what happened. Yet, I've received so many tweets on my end saying how he doesn't deserve to be forgiven, or how he should never have said anything about this drama at all, or how people won't even bother watching his video, as if he isn't worth the time of day because we think we know everything that's happened. That's a true shame, because people won't even give him the time of day, yet these are the same kinds of leeches and scumbags that will watch hours and hours of drama channels about how horrible or villainous, manipulative or evil or whatever someone is. Because it's human nature that we're attracted to negativity. Instinctually, we gravitate towards that because we learn from it. But now we live in a time where Twitter harbors negativity and there's no reason for anyone to leave their safe bubble and learn from it. The world is black and white according to some people, and it is scary to know that these people exist and will continue to exist in the future. I've even had some people telling me that he put up this act where he was acting like he was miserable and that he purposely gave himself a 3 o'clock shadow, unkempt hair, baggy eyes, a sad look, and it was all in order to manipulate his audience and win sympathy points. It is incredibly frustrating to read that because I am livid to know that people legit think that somehow Jared had the time or mindset to even think about pulling off some drama play act for his video, like he hired some makeup artist to make him look as miserable as possible, as if he were that smart, as if he were a fucking evil genius. The dude sent his nude pics to a bunch of strangers online. Do you think this guy's that smart to do that kind of act? Like, really? Let's just ignore the fact that he's gone through an incredible amount of stress and harassment from people he doesn't even know. Let's shove off the idea that maybe he can't get any sleep because there have been people making jokes about him nonstop, probably even telling him to kill himself. Let's just ignore the idea that maybe he doesn't want to take care of himself because he feels like shit about himself. Let's just treat Projared like a meme and monster, because otherwise, if we treat him like a human being, we might actually feel emotions for him. and that's unacceptable, especially when you're dealing with a monster like him. Don't you know that he's a oh wait, what was he again? Nazi, transphobic, homophobic, albeit racist, anti-Semitic. Right, pedophile. Don't you know he's a pedophile? Except now it's starting to seem like he's probably not. Again, it's best that you either watch Projared's video response or my VOD from last night, but to sum it up, Chai has an iffy statement due to the previous mental disability that he has suffered, and Charlie just straight up fabricated lies. Now, it's important to understand that this is still very much a he said, she said type of deal, so while there are receipts and seemingly concrete proof that Jared confirmed the identity of Charlie being 18 years old, there are some people who think that he fabricated the details. However, I still doubt that Jared is that smart or that devious. I mean, he's not a supervillain. I mean, really, that is the beyond evil. That is cartoonishly evil, honestly. Quite frankly, I like to live in a reality where people are humans and they do things out of causes, not necessarily because they're supervillains. I don't know. Now let's delve deep into these allegations. Chai had made many statements alleging Projared of many solicited sexual misconducts, all of which Projared simply says, "I don't remember that," which is very iffy. I mean, that's really not the kind of reply you should have when you're defending yourself against someone claiming you're a pedophile, but hey, whatever. Although, to be fair, Chai didn't have any solid proof that the two even interacted. When diving deeper into Chai's past, Jared found out that he had gone through some mental psychosis that rendered him in a state of hallucination, so he speculates that the kid could have possibly made up the entire claim, and even if he didn't make up this claim, well, he could possibly be making up his psychosis, to which if he were to make up a mental illness, what makes you think that he wouldn't make up Projared showing off nude pics with him? Honestly. The more definitive exposure, however, was the one against Charlie, who first claimed to say that Jared knew he was only 16 at the time, sending him nudes, but now Jared has proof that states Charlie had already admitted that he was 18 at the time of their interaction, a blatant lie to Jared's face, one that Charlie stood upon in order to get his narrative rolling. However, now it seems that Charlie was the true manipulator all along, even going as far to white out certain documents sent over to Normal Boots in order to have the narrative swing his way, and that is disgusting. Still, Jared's defense about Chai is incredibly weak in my opinion, and it barely says anything about the issue at hand. It's just a little too convenient that Jared has forgotten these conversations, but it's also convenient that these two also deleted their original posts shortly after Jared's drama. Many people have speculated that this is due in part of Jared's fans attacking them and harassing them, and while I'm not saying that didn't happen, it's hard to believe that these two were sworn by that during his downfall, as most people took Heidi's side during the incident and were very much villainizing him. Also, I've seen a lot of people shitting on Jared for exposing those two with his latest video, but to that I have to say, shut up. I think at this point, people are just trying to find reasons to hate Jared some more and finding every potential hole in this story to make him out to be this unreasonable monster. Look, in normal situations, I don't think anyone should be calling out anyone, especially not a larger YouTuber against people who have no presence online. But if it's true that these two kids dragged his name through the mud, making serious allegations that he's a pedophile sex fiend, then they should definitely be recognized and acknowledged. Otherwise, they could always just stir up more drama all over again somewhere else with some other YouTube celebrity and lie about more allegations and do all sorts of other horrible shit. If they stoop so low as to lie about this drama, then they'll no doubt continue, and I think it's worth noting that whoever these guys are, whatever they've done, they will probably continue to do it later on in life and manipulate more narratives in the future. That is to say, if they're lying, but now it's really starting to seem difficult to believe them. But hey, I've been wrong before. So does that mean Jared is redeemed? Well, as Jared stated, he knew that some people would call him a cheater, and by the end of the day, that's really none of our business what he is. I still think it's very asinine to think that even though he's proved he's not a pedophile, we should still hate him because he cheated on his wife. I understand where you're coming from, where this hate stems from. Really, I get it, honestly. I hate cheaters. I was cheated on by my ex many years ago, and it was a scar that never really healed. It closed me up to the world and made it hard for me to trust anyone later on in my life. I think people who are unfaithful to their significant others are vile and incredibly disgusting. Yet that is my own personal stance on it. I still acknowledge that they are still human. We cannot always understand the person cheating on the other side. I still don't think there's a good reason to cheat, but I do know that there is always a reason, and it's good to evaluate that before you evaluate the character. Holly Conrad over on her Twitter showed some text between Jared and Heidi, as well as Heidi and Holly, that reveals so much more disgustingness on Heidi's side, a much more manipulative side of Heidi. You can even see that now with Heidi's reaction to Projared's latest video. She's making it out to seem like the entire video was a hit piece against her, and that he purposely wanted people to harass and bully her online, when in reality she only showed up about a few minutes in the 40-minute video, and that she wasn't even named. He advised his fans not to harass her or anyone involved in the drama, yet people are still saying that he should never have made the video in the first place, because now he's indirectly causing people to harass her, as if he has control over what other people do. He doesn't have control over what they do, and he shouldn't have control over what they do. He can only mitigate damage, because honestly, he needed to do this. He needed to come out with a response. Otherwise, we would always know him as the pedophile, the cheater, the scumbag. He should have responded sooner. And quite frankly, he shouldn't have been quiet during this drama. But I understand him coming back now, because the first response he made was not very good, and it only alienated himself against his own fan base. Clearly, he just wanted the dust to settle, to focus on his own mental health, and wanted to respond when people had already forgotten, which is a smart move. Though honestly, I'm still not convinced that everyone in this drama is innocent. Everyone involved, in my eyes, are still horrible people. Because yes, Projared isn't a pedophile, and perhaps he's not even a cheater, yet he still is egotistical, manipulative, and predatory. He manipulated his fans into joining his Tumblr blog for sex positivity. He exploited their love for his content and used them as a means to get free porn. It was a way for him to get people to send him nudes, because of course they would. It's Projared. I mean, he wouldn't do anything bad, would he? They idolized him, they loved him, and they trusted him. They knew that he wouldn't do anything wrong with them. And so they confidently shared their nudes with him. And yes, to be fair, he never made this Tumblr private. He did actually invite anyone to join the sex positivity Tumblr whenever they wanted to. This wasn't some underground sex ring where only the elite could show off their nudes to Projared. It was an open invitation. Now, this doesn't make him any less of a sex fiend or a scumbag, but I have seen many people get the details wrong and made it out to be like he was grooming certain fans for pics. In reality, he just wanted everyone's nudes. And while we're on the topic of fairness, we should also acknowledge that Jared never actually leaked any of his fans' nudes. In fact, it was his fans that leaked his nudes. I'm seeing some people online getting mad that they saw nudes of Jared. In reality, they shouldn't be getting mad at Jared. They should be getting mad at the scumbags who threw his nudes online without his consent. And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that a form of sexual harassment? Again, Projared's no daisy in a field of flowers. He's still pretty scummy, but the scum doesn't end at Projared. It meets and connects with everyone involved. Although I will admit that if it is proven that he never cheated on his wife, then Holly could be the only one that is innocent in this entire drama. Oh, but while we're on the subject, can I just say that it's literally none of our business that he even cheated on his wife in the first place? Like, yeah, it's shitty that he did that, but like, this info should never have come out in the first place. Heidi's kind of a spiteful bitch for doing that. Like, she has nothing to gain by announcing that he cheated on her except for maybe sympathy points. Is nobody actually noticing this? But let's assume that Heidi is innocent because, of course, she has her own side of of the story, and her side of the story includes a bunch of accusations that he is an abuser, he is a manipulative liar. Of course she would say this because that is her side of the story. However, as much as I cannot trust a liar, I also cannot trust someone who publicly puts out their life in front of everyone for seemingly no reason other than to get sympathy points. I still don't really understand why she just put it out there that he cheated on her. There is obviously an ulterior motive behind this, and again, even if he did cheat on her, there is still no reason why she needed to put that out there. It is between them, nobody else. And it's kind of gross that she put that out there. Oh, whatever. This video has gone on too long, and so I think it should end by me saying this. Projared, as scummy as you may think he is still a human, and still deserves an ear. Despite what you think, he's no monster. He's just a man who wants to voice his side of the argument, and I say let him. Because if he were as evil as many of us think, then we should all be able to see through his manipulative lies. Yet, as it stands now, the man's actually pretty convincing. It's a shame that he and Holly went through so much, and all because one woman was so petty enough to release private info out into the public. All for sympathy, or possibly even fame. Who's to say? And there are some people who are questioning his innocence because they said if he wants to prove his innocence, he should go ahead and sue these two kids for defamation. And to that I say, you really need to figure out how the law works in America. It's not like you could just press the sue button and then all of a sudden your trial is taken to court the next day and then you can just sue anybody you want. It is a long, arduous process. It's not over in just a day or a month. It could last for years. And for those years, you could potentially have to pay off your lawyer thousands of dollars. A lot of people wanted to use this as an excuse, saying that, oh, well, if he's so innocent, he should just sue them. Obviously, he's not suing them because he's not innocent. He knows he's going to lose. No, he's not suing them because he knows that if he sues them, there are going to be people like you who are going to criticize him for bullying 19-year-olds. There's no winning this. It's best that he doesn't do this and he doesn't waste thousands of dollars for a court case that, even if he does win, will probably not net him anything. These are just 19-year-old kids with probably no job, no employment anywhere. They probably don't even go to school or anything like that. And they can't possibly pay off whatever they owe Projared in this defamation clause. So it would be pointless. It's the oddest thing that we can hate people who we don't even know, and that we can bully them to hell. We can destroy their mentality with just a single joke that germinates into the worst possible thing ever. And yes, I do acknowledge that I did make a meme or two about the situation myself. I'm not an idiot. I haven't forgotten about that, and I take full responsibilities for my actions and for what I've said. Jared, if you're watching this, I will publicly apologize for whatever I've said to offend you, if I ever offended you. In the moment, I was surrounded by memes and allegations against you. I have no sympathy for cheaters, and I never will. So my emotions must have gotten to the better of me, and I may have said some hurtful things without even thinking about you or your thoughts or your side of the story. I never even had proof that you even cheated on Heidi. I just assumed on her own word. But do not take this video as me believing you entirely. I will simply do better next time and learn from this experience. I will try my best not to consume everyone's word as absolute fact. Next time around, I will try my best to convey everyone's ideas into my videos from now on. If you want someone to reach out to you and interview you on your side of the story like you mentioned in your video, then please, by all means, I extend my hand to you. If you ever want to be interviewed on this entire situation, then DM me on Twitter and we can talk about the details there. I have no vendetta against you. I'm just a gossipy bitch who's really interested in the truth. And that's an open invitation for everyone who's involved, not just Projared. If you are involved in this, then I would like to know your side of the story as well. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time. I love y'all so much. Goodbye.